We met in high school. I was 17, she was 16. It started with small conversations in the hallway, a few exchanged glances, and before we knew it, we were spending every free moment together. We laughed at the same jokes, dreamed of the same future, and promised each other we'd build a life no one could break. We got married in our early 20s. I remember how happy she looked walking down the aisle. Her smile, that moment, I still see it in my mind like it was yesterday. Over the years, we built a home full of love and warmth. We had three beautiful daughters, each with her own spark. Our youngest is quiet and creative, always drawing. The middle one is fearless, outspoken, and sharp. And our oldest is thoughtful and mature beyond her years. They became our world. Everything we did for them. Life wasn't perfect, but it was good. We didn't fight much. In fact, people would tell us how lucky we were to have such a strong bond. We made time for movie nights, backyard BBQs, weekend road trips. We had our own inside jokes that no one else understood. I knew her favorite coffee, the songs she cried to, the way she liked her pillow arranged at night. I thought she knew me just as well. Looking back now, I think we both settled into a rhythm that felt safe. Maybe too safe. We'd gotten so comfortable that small things slipped under the radar. She started spending more time at work, saying she was taking on extra projects. I didn't think much of it. I trusted her. We trusted each other. That's what love is, right? But now that I look back, there were signs, subtle ones. She began taking her phone everywhere, even to the bathroom. She started sleeping with it under her pillow. When I asked about it, she brushed it off, said it was just work emails. I didn't press. I never wanted to be the insecure husband. I believed in her. I believed in us. I had no idea that everything we had built together was slowly starting to crack beneath the surface. It started like any other weekday. She came home from work, quiet, but not unusual. She went straight to the bedroom and started packing a small overnight bag. I asked if everything was okay, and she just said she had to work late and might stay over at a coworker's place to avoid the long drive back. It felt sudden, but I didn't think too much of it. She kissed our youngest on the forehead, gave a quick hug to the others, and walked out the door. Our oldest daughter saw her crying as she left. She didn't say a word to me about it until later that night when we realized she wasn't coming home. At first I told myself there must have been a good reason. Maybe something came up. Maybe she fell asleep at her friend's place or left her phone in the car. But then I checked my phone. No calls, no messages, nothing. I called her, texted her, even emailed. Hours passed with no reply. By midnight, worry started turning into fear. I called her parents. Her mother answered, but didn't say much. Just that she was safe and I should give her space. I asked if she was with them, but she wouldn't say. She just repeated the same thing. Be patient, try to understand. It didn't help. It only made things worse. I tried calling her brother, her sister, even a close co-worker I knew she talked to often. Everyone acted clueless. They either hadn't heard from her or claimed they didn't know anything. Her co-worker did say she showed up to work that morning, but left by lunchtime and never came back. That's when panic set in. The kids kept asking questions I couldn't answer. Where's mom? Did you guys fight? When is she coming back? I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to lie, but I didn't know the truth either. I told them she was staying with grandma and grandpa for a little while, and that everything would be okay. But even as I said it, I wasn't sure I believed it. That night I sat alone, staring at my phone, hoping it would light up. It never did. And the silence hurt more than anything I've ever felt before. Each day that passed without a word felt heavier than the last. The first day there was still hope. Maybe her phone died, maybe she just needed space, but by the third day, the silence became unbearable. Calls went straight to voicemail. Messages were left unread when they were even delivered at all. There were no updates, no explanations, just complete silence. Her parents kept repeating the same thing every time I reached out. She's okay, just give her time. I asked where she was, why she wouldn't call me, why she wouldn't speak to her daughters. They never gave a straight answer. Please just be patient, her mom said. She's going through something. What was she going through? Why wouldn't anyone tell me? It didn't make sense. We weren't fighting, we didn't have problems, at least nothing serious. We weren't perfect, but who is? One moment we were making dinner and laughing with the kids, and the next she was gone, vanished without a single honest word. The girls started to notice. They asked questions I couldn't answer, and I hated myself for not having anything to give them. My thoughts wouldn't stop racing. What if something had happened to her? What if she was sick? Or worse, maybe she was having a breakdown. Maybe she just couldn't handle something and didn't know how to tell me. But if that was true, why would her parents hide it from me? Why would everyone act like I didn't deserve to know? I couldn't take it anymore. That night, I called the police and asked them to do a wellness check. I didn't want to believe things were that bad, but I couldn't just sit in the dark any longer. The officer called me back an hour later. She was at her parents' house, safe. That was all they said. She doesn't want to talk to you right now, they added. Hearing that broke something in me. She was okay. She was alive. But she chose not to call. She chose not to check on the kids. She chose silence. And with that one phone call, it became clear this wasn't just about needing space. Something else was going on. Something bigger. Something she didn't want me to know. It happened late one night. I couldn't sleep again, so I got up to check my phone, hoping for any sign from her. Instead, I saw a message from her coworker's number, but it wasn't him. It was someone else, maybe a relative. The message said he had passed away from a sudden heart attack just a few days ago. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know why I was even being told this. At first, it didn't make sense. Why would someone tell me about a man I barely knew? Why would they contact me directly? I started connecting the dots. That was the day she left. That was the day she broke down crying and packed a bag. That was the day she ghosted everyone, including her daughters. I knew then that something deeper was going on. I called her parents again, and this time I demanded the truth. After some silence, her father finally spoke. He said she had been seeing that man, not just working with him. He said it had been going on for years. I felt my chest tighten, my ears rang, I dropped the phone. 4 years. She had been cheating on me for 4 years. 4 years of lies, of fake work trips, late nights at the office, stories about being too tired, needing space, having headaches. All of it lies. And the worst part? Her parents knew. They didn't tell me. They let me sit in pain and confusion while they covered for her. I sat on the floor for what felt like hours. My hands were shaking. My mind was spinning. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I felt sick. How could she do this? How could the woman I loved, the mother of my children, betray me like this for so long? And for what? Because she was bored? I looked at our family photos on the wall. Every smile, every vacation, every birthday party, farce, were those moments real to her? Or was it all just an act while she lived another life behind my back? The girls still didn't know. I couldn't tell them, not yet. I had to stay strong for them. But every night I broke down when they went to sleep. Alone in the dark, I cried until I couldn't anymore. The nights are the worst. When the house is quiet and the kids are asleep, that's when everything hits the hardest. I lie in bed staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment we ever had. Every birthday party, every late night conversation, every morning coffee. I wonder if she ever loved me at all. I wonder how many of those memories meant anything to her. Was she already thinking about him during our family vacations? Was she texting him while sitting beside me? Food doesn't taste like anything anymore. I skip meals without realizing it. I'll make breakfast for the girls, smile for them, pack their lunches, but I'll forget to eat myself. My body's running, but it's like my mind is somewhere else, somewhere stuck. I go through the motions, pretending to be okay because that's what they need from me. But the moment they leave the room, I fall apart. I can't sleep. I close my eyes and all I see is her with someone else. Laughing, touching, whispering things to him she used to say to me. I imagine her checking her phone for his messages, deleting them before I saw anything. I imagine her lying to my face over and over like it was nothing. And I wonder how I missed it, how I let it go on for years without even suspecting. I tried calling a therapist. I didn't know what to say, just that I couldn't do this on my own anymore. I also called a divorce lawyer, not because I'm ready, but because I need to know my options. I need to protect the girls, protect myself, protect whatever part of me is still holding on. The kids have been strong, stronger than I ever imagined, but they see more than I want them to. I hear them whispering at night. I hear my oldest telling the younger ones that it's going to be okay. She's trying to be the adult in the room, and that breaks my heart even more. That should be me. I'm supposed to be the one holding things together. I hide my tears. I wait until they're at school, or asleep, or watching TV in the other room. But the truth is, I cry every day. I cry for what we lost, for what she destroyed, and for the family I thought we had. A message came in late at night. It was from her, the first one in weeks. She told the girls she was sorry for leaving the way she did. She didn't say much else, just that she loved them and missed them. Then she messaged me. A short text, just a few lines. I'm sorry, I don't know how to face you. I want to talk. Can we talk? I stared at the screen for a long time. My hands were shaking. After everything, she wanted to talk. After 4 years of lies, vanishing without a word, letting me find out the truth from others. Now she wanted to talk. Another message followed. I want to come home. I miss you. I miss the girls. Please. There was a part of me that wanted to scream. Another part that wanted to say yes. I couldn't deny it. I missed her. I missed how things used to be. I missed the quiet moments, the way she laughed when the kids said something silly, the way she touched my hand when we watched movies. But I also remembered the betrayal, the secrets, the 4 years she gave to someone else while looking me in the eyes every day. I told her she couldn't just walk back in like nothing happened. If she wanted to come home, she had to sit down with me face to face. No more hiding, no more half-truths. I wanted to know everything. I needed her to look me in the eyes and tell me why. Why she did it, why she kept it going for so long, why I wasn't enough. And most of all, I wanted her to face the kids. They deserved an explanation. They deserved an apology from their mother. She agreed. At least she said she did. But then she didn't come. Days passed, she made excuses, said she needed a little more time, said she wasn't ready yet. And just like that, we were back in silence again. Only this time it was filled with tension and waiting. She wanted to come back, but not with the truth. And I couldn't take her back without it. Not this time, not after everything. She came back after 3 weeks, walked through the front door like she had just gone out for groceries. No hello, no apology, no tears, just silence. The kids were in their rooms. She looked around the house, then at me. I thought she might say something, maybe explain, maybe cry. Instead, she stepped forward and tried to hug me. I pulled away. She stood there, arms half raised, eyes unsure. I didn't say a word at first. I just looked at her. All the emotions I'd been holding in started to rise. My heart was pounding, my hands clenched without thinking. The silence between us felt like it was crushing the air in the room. Finally, I asked, "Are you ready to tell me everything now?" She looked down. Her voice was barely a whisper. "I'm not ready." That was it. That was all she had to say. Something inside me snapped. I couldn't hold it in any longer. I told her I already knew. About the affair, about the man, about the 4 years of lying. I told her I knew she had planned to leave me, that she had been seeing him while pretending to be with her family. I didn't shout at first, but my voice was firm. My words cut through the silence like a blade. She didn't deny anything. She didn't argue. She didn't even flinch. She just stood there, eyes fixed on the floor, saying nothing. No shock, no sorrow, no defense. That silence hurt more than anything she could have said. Then a voice came from the stairs. Our oldest daughter had heard everything. She stormed into the room, her face red, her voice shaking with anger. She yelled at her mother, shouted through years of confusion and pain that she didn't understand until now. "How could you do this to us?" she screamed. "To Dad? To all of us?" My wife didn't respond. She turned and walked away, quietly climbing the stairs. A few seconds later, we heard the bedroom door lock. The house fell quiet again. My daughter stood there crying, fists clenched at her sides. I didn't know what to say to her. I didn't know how to make it better. And upstairs, behind a closed door, her mother said nothing at all. She knocked on my door a few nights later, asking if we could talk. The kids were asleep. I didn't want to fight again, and I didn't want another round of silence either. So we stepped outside, sat in the car, and closed the doors. It was quiet for a while. She kept fidgeting with her hands, staring at the dashboard like she was gathering courage. Then she finally started talking. She told me everything. They met through her sister. At first, it was just conversation. He worked at a place she wanted to apply to, so they talked about work, careers, goals. Then it turned into jokes, friendly messages, late-night chats. She said it felt harmless in the beginning. She felt flattered, seen, excited. She said it had been years since she felt that way. The first kiss happened before COVID. After that, things kept going. She said she knew it was wrong, but convinced herself it didn't mean anything. Then it became physical. She lied to me, to our daughters, to herself. She made up business trips that never existed, blamed traffic for coming home late, said her mom was sick just to buy herself more time with him. She said he made her feel alive, said our life had become predictable, said she never stopped loving me, but she got lost in the excitement. She said she didn't plan to fall in love with him, but eventually she did. He made promises, travel, a new life, everything she thought she was missing, but he never asked her to leave us. That part, she said, was her own fantasy. She cried while talking, not loud sobs, just quiet, steady tears running down her face. She kept saying she was sorry, that she wanted to stop, that she tried, that she felt trapped between the life she had and the life she thought she wanted. She said she was bored not with me, but with life itself. I listened, but every word felt like a knife. I didn't yell, I didn't ask questions. I just sat there, staring at the woman I thought I knew. She finished her story and asked if there was still a chance to fix things. I told her I didn't know, because after hearing all of that, I didn't even know who I was anymore. She sat across from me in the living room, her hands folded tightly in her lap. She had just finished apologizing again, saying all the things she thought I wanted to hear, that she regretted everything, that she still loved me, that she wished she could take it all back. Her eyes were red, her voice shaky, but her words couldn't fix what had already been destroyed. I looked at her and realized something that hurt more than anything else. I would never see her the same way again. No matter how many times she said sorry, no matter how much she cried, the damage was done. She made her choice, not once, not twice, but over and over again for 4 years. That wasn't a mistake. That was a pattern. She begged me not to give up, said we could go to therapy, said we could rebuild, said the kids needed us to stay together. I listened quietly. I wanted to believe it could be fixed, but deep down, I knew it couldn't. I wasn't angry in that moment, just tired, worn out from pretending that love could survive this kind of betrayal. I told her I wanted a divorce. She didn't speak for a while, just sat there, staring at me like she didn't hear me right. Then she asked if I was sure. I nodded. She looked like she wanted to argue, but she didn't. She wiped her eyes and said she'd stay at her sister's house again, at least for now. I told her that was for the best. The girls were doing better with her gone. The house felt calmer. We were healing little by little, even through the pain. I didn't want to take that from them. I didn't want them to live in a place filled with tension and tears. They deserved peace. I did too. I don't hate her. A part of me still loves who she used to be. But that version of her is gone, and I can't keep holding on to someone who doesn't exist anymore. I have to move forward, for my daughters, for myself. As she packed a small bag and walked out the door again, there were no goodbyes, no hugs, just a quiet understanding that this chapter was over. The divorce papers were filed. Just seeing my name next to hers, with the word dissolution in bold letters, made my chest tighten. It wasn't how things were supposed to end, but it had to. There was no other way forward. The hardest part wasn't signing the papers. It was accepting that the life I built for nearly 2 decades was gone. Some days are still hard. I'll hear a song, pass by a place we once loved, or see a photo tucked in a drawer, and suddenly everything rushes back. I feel the weight in my chest, the sting in my eyes, but the pain doesn't stay as long as it used to. It comes, it hurts, and then it passes. That's how healing works, I guess, little by little. The girls are starting to smile more. Our mornings are a little lighter. We've made new routines. Pancakes on Saturdays, movie nights on Fridays. We talk more. I ask them about their day, and they ask about mine. We're learning to be okay without her. It's not easy, but we're getting there together. I started walking again, sometimes running, when I feel the anger build. I write things down in a notebook, thoughts I can't say out loud, things I need to let go of. I focus on my daughters. They give me purpose. They keep me moving forward when I feel like stopping. They're my reason for everything now. Sometimes people ask if I think I'll ever love again. I don't have an answer. Maybe one day, maybe not. Right now, I'm just trying to learn how to be alone without feeling lonely, trying to rebuild myself from the pieces that were left behind, the part that still lingers, the part that still cuts the deepest, is her reason. Boredom, not anger, not abuse, not distance, just boredom. After all the memories, the love, the life we built, she threw it away because she was bored. That's what haunts me, but I won't let it define me. I won't let it take away who I am or what I can still become. I survived the worst heartbreak of my life. I stood up when everything around me fell apart. I'm still standing, and somehow that means I'm going to be okay.